And I know that's fun. Dude, I get it. I've done some heterosexual LARPing. Like, I know it feels fun. Actually, I really haven't. I don't like big crowds of idiots. I never have. Like, to a point where I've had issues with Amy about it, where I've had to, like, learn to go to rodeos and shit and go to, like, and enjoy myself, go to monster trucks with the kids. But I don't like big crowds. I like big crowds of bears. I like big crowds of my people. I don't like going to places where there's just a bunch of, like the cool thing about Idaho is, like, a rodeo, there's people that I would relate to, or like a state fair. But I can't stand, like, 4th of July fireworks, honking in traffic for 3 hours. You know. Vox didn't like calling it LARPing. That's okay. The whole, like, everybody has to divide endlessly on the internet is retarded. Me and Vox are, like, extremely close friends. You can have differences of opinion. Whether or not the Canadian truckers are LARPing, okay, this is why I believe they're LARPing, just for the record. And I get his point. He's like, there's actual trucks. It's not live action role play. It's like, there is a protest. It's like, yeah, I mean, but they're not truckers. I mean, they're guys in pickup trucks. Oh, how dare you? I found a trucker. I'm so connected with the North American trucking industry that I promise you, actual truck drivers are not driving to this place and honking for 2 weeks. It's not possible. The coordination of this event are 100% deep state, or whatever people want to call it. Vox also repeatedly points out BB uses rhetoric to pain points. Exactly. Vox accurately said Owen's a comedian. I'm wrong a lot dialectically. A lot. Like, I run my mouth. Guys, look, what I'm talking about, the universe today and all this stuff, I started thinking about this at the grain store today. This is a major theological conversation that I have not researched at all. And there is a role for that. It's entertaining, it's funny, it's thought-provoking. If you want to then go do a ton of research on it, but what I'm saying is pretty incredible about that. But there will be things I'll say along the way where it's like, oh, that's factual. Like, for example, I thought Maxime Bernier was a fucking lady from France. I'm surprised Howdy's falling for it. It's not about falling for it. Howdy is saying, let me just give some different opinions, because a lot of my friends, Quantum, I've been emailing with Quantum about it. They're kind of hopeful about it in a way because they see the potential of a grassroots uprising to demand a better system. And that's true. So when you see the real world kick in, and the real world is cops, firefighters, truckers, linesmen, plumbers, carpenters, like the physical reality, like the world before the universe, before the speech, the babble. Before that, there are men that keep your lights on. That there's no amount of words you can say in Hollywood that's going to make that light switch work. That's what I mean by the original Matrix. And so when, like, a lot of us have been yearning for the real world man to demand a better life. And so this appears to be that in a way, but it's 100% not that. And I know from experience, when they do this game, it's bad for the people who put their emotions into it. That's all I'm saying. If you think Howdy is for this, you have very poor listening skills. Yeah, he said he's 15% hopeful. What Howdy's saying is, and he has a point, Howdy's last video is awesome. Let's all stop doing this endless online division shit. That's why I really wanted to do that Curtis Stone interview recently, because me and him have wildly different views on the trucker thing. We had a conversation where I stated my side totally straight up, no pulling punches. He stated his. We both saw each other's views a little better, and we had an awesome conversation. We're still friends that would trust each other with each other's families. All right? Look at the internet that way. And I know some people, no matter what I say, won't. Because they're like, we're 90% vaxxed, we don't deserve new owners. No, the new owners would be worse, Denmark Bear. Don't you worry. You hold tight. It's the same thing that happened in Puerto Rico. It's like, oh yeah, they have this uprising, or like any of these places. The Arab Spring, Egypt, Libya. Like, we can blame America for Libya. Oh, we know it's Hillary Clinton and Obama. they convinced all these retards on the ground to kill Gaddafi. Sound familiar? I mean, guys, it's a script. These people, and I don't mean Jews, I mean Zionist pimps. Big stupid hats, robes, collection books. Okay, they write scripts. And they're reading a script. So you get the retards on the ground and be like, yeah, we want better than fucking Gaddafi. He's mean. And so then they kill him, and then in comes in a much worse situation. And they're like, but what about Romans 13, bitch? That's what Romans 13 means. Romans 13 means don't do sin when commanded by Satanists, but overthrowing your government always ends bad. Always. Replacing it long-term with a valid alternative is great. That's what America was founded on. I think they play up the war aspect of it to get us to not realize what it actually was. There was 12 presidents before George Washington. You guys know that? Hillary definitely earned that nickname allegedly. Yeah, but they still did it. They've tried this shit in a million countries. It didn't work in Iran. I mean, it worked a while ago with Mossadegh, but that's because the people wanted that. The people of Iran want a more theocratic government. Like Russia, I think Putin is potentially puppet, but the people are so base that Putin's going to be base because that's what puppets are. And I mean that with respect, Mr. Putin. I'm a fan in certain ways. Like, I really do mean that with respect. But, like, if his people wanted degeneracy, he would do that. That's usually how leaders are, because when you're leading over a population that overwhelmingly doesn't want something, you're not long for this world. All right. I thought it was 3 before Washington. Maybe 3. I don't know. See, that's what I mean. Dialectically, I'm a mess. But how many people here knew that there were presidents before Washington? I'm running and gunning here. It's what I do. Now, I would never go on Vox's stream and correct him, or go on Vox's stream and put out my shit that I'm still working through. He would rightfully ban me. That's the maybe this will help people understand the internet. You know, people can get pissed off in the chat. It's like, oh, well, Owen thinks that. Well, Owen isn't in the chat saying that because that's someone else's opinion and they have the right to have the microphone. It's the same with here. You can't possibly agree with everything with all your friends. It's not possible. So it's like, I would never, has anyone ever seen me go to any, like Curtis's stream or Vox's stream or any of my friends' streams and be like, actually, of course not. Because they have a right, because I'm not 100% on any of my opinions. So it's like someone else has just as much of a right as me to work through their shit as I do. And maybe in the end we'll end up agreeing more or less, or who knows. The only time I would do that is if I did a debate, which I actually don't even like because I think they're pretty gay. Rhetoric works better in debate than actually being accurate. So I would be really good at debate, even if I was wrong sometimes. So that's actually a reason why I don't want to do it, ironically. Because I know I've won debates like in my life and then later I've been wrong. And I realize it's because I'm so endearing to audiences. It's so funny that like, that's why I don't debate. Because I'm really in pursuit of truth. And that's why I have a lot of friends with different opinions than me who respect me and I respect them because they know I'm not lying. They know I didn't take the ticket. They know I don't want subversion. They know I want what Jesus Christ talked about in the New Testament. You know, Vox rightfully banned me from Gab to my never-ending chagrin. I am humbler now. Yeah, Vox would ban me if I did that. If you want to go be a special boy on someone else's platform, then you're going to get banned. That's why I don't get what people don't understand when they are in my comment section where it's like, well, I'm just stating my opinion. I'm like, do it on your page. That's it. I won't troll it. I'll troll Babylon Bee and shit like that because those are comedy institutions that are defacing my career. Not like me personally, but like for example, this is not a fucking joke. All right, hang on a second. While watching The View in Hell, Hitler's surprised to learn Holocaust wasn't about race. Like, ugh. And so I'm not just there like, you're a piece of shit. I give them a better joke, and I just keep reminding them, you're not doing humor. That's it. There's tons of bears that disagree with me on a lot. I would say the majority of bears believe in the Trinity. Maybe not the majority, I don't know, 50%? Like the Jesus is and God are no different at all. Does it appear we have any problems? Do I go to people's pages and go, oh, fucking, I'm confused. Fuck you. No. Well, you did with Jay Dyer. Jay Dyer did a stream calling me a heretic. Everybody I've had public beef with has always attacked me first. Always 100%. Vox scares me. You better come correct or he bans fast. Yeah, totally. And don't just bicker. Bickering in a comment section doesn't do anything. That's it. Dude, we're all like the most productive internet experience is when people with high trust that believe each other are at least attempting to tell the truth have different views on something. Like I happen to know a lot of truckers. A lot of these people don't. Like much love to Curtis, but I don't think he understands the trucking industry. I do a lot, like super well. And these people are not semi-truckers. It's not the actual supply chain shutting it down. It's people like Ezra Levin and all these people. It's like these people are funded top down. The infrastructure in place for this quote unquote trucker rally is like mind blowing. And so that's it. I am a full blown Trinitarian. Yeah. And do we have any problems, Dan? Now, it'd be one thing if I was like, Jesus was a common criminal who deserves to be killed, like Ben Shapiro. Like, think about all these Trinitarians that have no problem with Ben Shapiro's opinion, where I believe Jesus was the Word incarnate, but I don't think that's the same as creating the Son. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And if someone has a problem with that, that's fine. So